the garage. Live record. Warriors versus Suns in season tournament recap around the league. Talking Warriors versus Suns with N.B.H. Is it Doom and Wonder? I should ask. I've just been using Daniel and Doom. Is that fine?
Oh yeah, whatever's fine. For what? For wait, what for?
Just as of whenever I refer to you by name.
Oh yeah. Either one's fine. You do, yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Let's do Doom and Wonder. Actually, yeah. Let's start that up.
And that way. So how do I do that? D all caps DOOM.
Oh,
And
oh, no, I'm
lowercase.
not. I'm all lowercase.
All
All
lowercase. So
Yeah,
lowercase Doom
with
and
you can
sign
put
Wonder. Any
the
spaces in between and
nah.
gotcha.
Yeah,
There it
good.
is. And what do we call these? No, I'm still calling NBA 2K because we're talking basketball. That's the best way to get them to recognize we're talking about basketball. Yeah, I'm not doing that. And done. Yay. All right, that's set up. The stream is going live. We are out here. Yeah. Let me double check audio real quick. We are out here. Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's get it. So yeah, Warrior Suns gonna be a fun. How much you watch all of it, Jordan, or most of it?
Pretty much. I didn't even watch the end of the second half because I just
Yeah, same. You seen it. You've seen it
yeah,
5 times already this year. Exact same
yeah.
thing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I caught most of the second half. Most of the second quarter too. Okay, so yeah, we'll go Warriors. Y'all want to talk? I mean, we haven't talked tournament yet, so I figured we can. Any thoughts? Last thoughts y'all have on that? And then just around the league. I think we're around the quarterway point anyway, so it'd be good to just check in.
Anthony Davis. They saying he's the best neutral court player of all time. That's between
The
they brought it
bubble,
back
the
because there was
bubble.
the bubble, but also it just where it all starts with him, the NCAA tournament. Like how many guys actually first picks
Oh,
win the championship and like dominate all the way through? But yeah, no NCAA tournament. He's a champion. Bubble. He's a champion. In first in season tournament, he's a champion. Don't let see Anthony Davis not on the home court. He's a champion.
Damn, we gotta make up shit now for him.
Hey man, come on now. Hey, he's a competitor. He's a defender. You feel me? Bill Russell will be proud of Anthony Davis. He's probably smiling right now. Mm.
Nah, it was crazy to see. Oh, we started already?
no, it's good. It's cool. We haven't had a cold open for real in a while. So that was good. That was good. Let's jump into it though.
Oh my bad.
No, you're good. No, it's good to have. All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Garage, an NBA live show presented by N.B.H Network. I go by Mike, and with me today is.
Daniel
Jay
Doom.
Bash.
Oh,
Yeah, let's start it again. I also realized my light wasn't on, so that's
you go
another
first.
reason to start. There we go. Yeah, you guys should be able to see me. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Garage, an NBA live show presented by N.B.H Sports. I go by Mike, and with me today is.
Jay Bash.
Daniel Doom and Wonder.
Doom and Wonder. We're back. Had a week off. We back though and ready to talk. Really talk some Warriors Suns. Probably not saying much we haven't said before, but we gotta say it again because it happened again. But we'll talk some Warriors Suns, general Warriors thoughts, go through what happened today, maybe recap some in-season tournament thoughts, and then finish up by going around the league. But let's start where we always start. The Golden State Warriors played another game. The Golden State Warriors got another big lead in the first half. Golden State Warriors blew another big lead. Golden State Warriors made a comeback at the end of the game. A lot of stuff we've seen before, but it all ended the same way. The Warriors lost. Just straightaway thoughts before we get into some of the nitty gritty.
Oh wait, Clay got benched?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, there
we
was a
getting
lot
there
of
now.
benching. Andrew
Getting
Wiggins
there
and
now.
Kevon Looney get benched to start the second half, and
Mm.
probably for the
Mm.
first time, to Jordan's point, the first time, in ever that Clay's been benched to close the game was last time Clay didn't close the game.
Sure, it's happened before
Yeah, I
because
know.
he is a crazy man, but yeah, it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it's happened before.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I can
I
think of
don't
the
think it
time
has.
I can think of the time it's happened to Draymond. I can't think of the time it's ever happened to Clay. There's been a lot of times that Clay just has been hurt, but
Yeah,
it hasn't
yeah,
been. I mean, nobody was ever been clamoring for Jordan Poole to close games the last couple years. So
yeah. Ah, man. No, yeah, I was. Wait, what? Yeah, you said the Clay, or yeah, the Clay benching. I feel like I heard 80
start
points, 80 most like it was like a record for points off the
off the
bench they
bench.
had today.
I
Like
mean,
that's insane. Like they
the
had 80, and it was like a
starters.
50-point differential too.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, they scored 80 points off the bench.
The
The
starters
Warriors bench
scored a
scored 80
combined.
points. Yeah.
The
Go
Warriors
ahead.
start. No, you're good. The Warriors starters scored a combined 36 points. So the points have to come from somewhere. Yeah, Steph had 24
And
of
Steph
those.
had 24 of
Because
those. That's
at
insane.
24.
Yo, what are we doing? Oh
Hey,
my
you
God.
got 80
We
points
are
off the bench. Oh, seems like you got a good team now. I say Clay
start,
bench and
man.
Steve Kerr putting his big boy pants on, bitching people. That's where it starts. How they start to figure it out. Guys that make a lot of money on the wing gotta watch the game
Yeah,
sometimes instead of playing the game.
everybody's season.
So let's
Funny,
see. Mm-hmm.
Stan Van Gundy said at some point during the game, Moody's just one of those players
Yeah.
I've never felt like he was gonna make it. You just never feel like he's gonna make a mistake or anything when he gets the
No.
ball. It's like, man, the whole world sees this.
No.
Boy,
Stan
Even there.
Dan's hilarious.
Stan Van, the last 2 or 3 games he's covered the Warriors have been hilarious. I feel like he's just trying to prove that he could have coached the team back when they chose. I guess they chose not to give him whatever how that went, but he's
Yeah,
like he goes in on like they're just everything you be saying, everything y'all be saying, like especially like the Moody one was hilarious because it's just like, oh yeah, Warriors fans been saying that Moody stay ready for about a year and a half now. And Stan Van, like you said, just essentially said in his own words, Moses Moody never out there making a mistake or doing anything wrong. But then yeah, just also he just calls out the inconsistency or the lack of fundamentals. I think Down you talk about. He calls that out
yeah.
all
That's
the
where I be
time.
cracking up. The first 4 minutes of this game, Stan was like, "Well, let's see what Warriors we see today." He said they're bottom 5 in the league in turnovers. They're bottom 5 in the league in terms of they foul people more than anybody else. It's just like he knows exactly who we are. I find it funny because Stan be like kind of roast him. I'm like, Stan, we play East Coast basketball. This is what we do. We hack, we turn the ball over. But we're top 5 in offensive rebounds. And I was like, yeah, we scrap. Like, that's what we do. We scrap. We got one dude who can score. This is Allen Iverson blueprint. We got one dude who can score, and everybody else out there is supposed to just play hard, grab offensive rebounds, foul people so that we don't get physically intimidated and try to put yourself in a position to win a game. But, yeah, it's funny to hear Stan because I feel like, yeah, feels like he probably kept going, but definitely the first 3-4 minutes of the game, he's just like, calling out every single Warriors turnover, saying that this is indicative of their season problems and like calling out the over aggression and the fouls and stuff like that. So yeah, stands interesting to watch. Yeah, kind of analyze the Warriors, and there's so much to kind of just jumping off the page. I feel like for a good side or a good play-by-play analyst, but definitely for Stan for other reasons.
It's a good way to put it. So I want to point out we've talked about the scoring and just how bad it was. So just to say it out loud because it's wild. So the Warriors played. I went through it. I believe 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Played 6 bench players. We've already said the Warriors starters outside of Steph scored a combined 12 points. The 6 players that started or that came off the bench that played, besides Trace Jackson Davis, who only played 7 minutes, so the other 5 all scored at least 12 points. Like every
Yep.
bench player.
Dang.
We are deep.
Chris Paul had 15. Moses
Chris
Moody
Paul
12.
out here getting buckets.
Dario Saric 15. Jonathan Kuminga 16. And Pods with his first 20 and 11 game. Because this dude just grabs all the rebounds. It's wild that Steve Kerr hasn't been playing him when like Wiggins and Clay just refuse. I mean, Clay doesn't refuse. He's just never been in his game. But they just refuse to rebound. And this white boy is going to grab everyone he can.
This team is crazy. Can't help but just consistently be encouraged, and we're 1-2 big changes away from an overflow of wins and seeing what this team is capable of. Because it's just all right there. When this is another game where Kuminga he was 24 and 11 off the bench. I feel like was that the loss to the Clippers? I think
The overtime loss, whichever one the
Over-
overtime was.
yeah, whatever the overtime
Thunder,
game. The Thunder, yeah. And it's like a guy who's not, and then I think before that was Moody had like a 20-point game where he wasn't supposed to be in the rotation kind of thing. It's like, get the flip. Like if we get the flip and we see Moody and Kuminga out there, we see Wiggins and Klay Thompson, be role players on a team that has other guys who are just ready to play more sound, fundamental basketball consistently, then we'll see, the potential that's there. The reason why you got 5 guys in double figures off the bench, that's crazy to have 5 guys, to be capable of having 5 guys in double figures off the bench. That lets you know, if you're under 500, you need to do something different.
Seems like the writing's on the wall. Any other thoughts on the squad? We have to talk about Draymond eventually. I feel like I had one other thing before we got there, but any other thoughts on the game in general? What we saw, what we didn't see. I wanted to talk about a little more about the Looney and Wiggins benching before we wrapped up. But anything else?
I would say Pods is Eric kind of all right, keep going on the whole. I think just Pods playing well. You said it was 10 rebounds, right? That's what I was gonna ask.
11 rebounds.
11 rebounds off the bench. Yeah, just another. Said it about Moody, but just you have to have that guy on. Like, you have to get these guys on the basketball court because these are just things that doesn't feel like Wiggins or Clay are going to bring you at this point in their career. So, there's a lot of role shifting going on. But I'll let you go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to point out because I feel like it was funny how it went. Because at halftime, I feel like it was the first time everybody's always been lighting into Wiggins a little bit for a while now, and Clay kind of gets tonight or every now and then. But this first time people were really coming at Looney. I think people was kind of finally tired of seeing it. But stat I wanted y'all to see on the screen. So it's crazy to see. So with Andrew Wiggins and Kevon Looney off the court, the Warriors have a plus 10 net rating, plus 10 per 100 possessions. With Andrew Wiggins and Kevon Looney on the court, minus 3.67 per 100 possessions. So a 13-point swing right there, just those two on the court versus those two off the court. Andrew Wiggins on, Kevon Looney off. This is a wild one. Minus 14, damn near minus 15 per 100 possessions. And then Kevon Looney on, Wiggins off, minus 0.44, which is kind of what you expect. But yeah, man, it's just I feel like everybody was pointing it out and everybody was tired of them too. And then Kerr actually did it. Everybody was saying it, and it was wild because everybody's like, oh shit, Kerr might have actually been listening to Twitter for once because the half starts and neither one of those dudes are out there. I guess my question is, do you think this holds long term? Like, are Jonathan Kuminga and Pods in the starting lineup for the next game?
Kuminga needs to be at least. I mean,
Yes,
I could see him not giving it, giving the full, giving it to Paz yet. But Kuminga, bro, you see Kuminga out there, and it's just like what we need. He just faster and jumps higher than everybody. It's just I be forgetting we even have this sometimes, and that's a problem. That's what I like. I'm like, oh man, I'm out here watching. Clay and Wiggins are especially he's the perfect Wiggins replacement, I guess.
It gives you a little bit more at least.
He can actually play the four, do defensive things at the rim and rebounds, like we're supposed to. We'll see. Hopefully, he needs to lock in every night on the boards. But I feel like me and Dan were talking about that. If he just
the bar is so low with Clay and Wiggins,
get consistent, I think he's going to figure that part out. I think he just needs to play with Steph and Draymond consistently, even though. Are we ready for any other thoughts? We don't need. I'm going to delay talking about this nigga again.
But, Clay?
No. Clay's fine.
Oh, Draymond. Oh, yeah. Nah, what were you just saying, Jordan? JK. Yeah. Mike, you were asking about the starting.
Yes, please.
Still, encouraged because I feel like this is definitely like we're seeing progress towards I think what we've been talking about on the show, and just kind of like can we get these Clay and Wiggins minutes down, and we get one of them out the starting lineup? Because from where this season started, it seems like that's where so much of our not great or unsuccessful lineups are coming from. This Clay Wiggins combination and how they've struggled to play together and struggle to score the basketball. So it feels, at least wouldn't say that the starting lineup changes next game, but I think we do see JK in the lineup. JK does get a start. This makes me feel like JK is going to get a start before the end, a couple starts before the end of the year, I guess, before January 1st, which I guess is kind of the date I feel like on the last episodes of the pod we were talking about with the Clay and Wiggins situation, like giving Kerr until January 1st to have to figure out what the hell these guys are, where their egos are at, moving one or both of them to the bench. Both, if it was me, that's what I want to see, but giving Kerr until the first to kind of get there. So I think we're just that much closer to Kaminga or Moody getting their foot in the door with the starting lineup. And once they do, you can't turn back because once your second best player on the team starts playing second best player on the team minutes in the starting lineup, you don't really turn back. You look really crazy when you start benching the guy who's like, yeah, I was thinking about it today. I was just like, yeah, Dray, this is a good transition into Draymond. But like, Draymond's not allowed to be the second best player on the team because he can't consistently be out there. So it's clear as day for me that Stephen Curry's the best player on the basketball team, and after that, it's Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga. Like, period. There's no one else on this team that is as good as those two basketball players. That's where this team is at. All you have to do is get one of those guys out there 30 minutes a night, and I don't think they're not going to lose the spot ever again, and we'll start to see the potential of this team. Like, so yeah, Draymond can't be the number 2 anymore. No, even if he is having a really great offensive season, if I can't see you out there, you're about to get suspended again. It's unfortunate. But yeah, where this team is set up, just to transition from Moody Kuminga, yeah, they're either one of them is the second best player on the team, which is really cool to have 2 players that young who can get that level, who are very complement Steph Curry very well, who play really well off the bench despite inconsistent minutes. Like, yeah, you have you have 2 number 2s on your team, so it's time to start playing them like that and move your role players to the roles. Playing Wiggins.
Time to find your roles. They play the Clippers next, which I feel like is even a better reason. Like, you don't necessarily need to be huge down low against that team. They're going to mostly play 4 or 5 out anyway. Zubac only get probably just Zubac and a little bit of Tice. So I feel like that's the one to do it. But again, probably got to talk about, because in my head, the Kuminga Draymond thing really needs to happen, but it's probably not going to be what it is. Any Draymond Green, or how do y'all want to approach this? He did it again.
Last thing on that.
Oh yeah,
if
no,
Curry
please
starts
go.
Pods over before he starts Moody, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
was
a little
surprised.
upset.
I was a
If
little
he does, like,
surprised.
that's where I'm kind of like, dog. That's where I'm looking at Curry. Like, man, you're taking too long. Like, if you're taking too long to figure this shit out, and you playing with your food, like, dog. Like, you got Moses Moody and Pods. Like, yeah, what this team is, where you're going. Are you trying to set this team to win playoff games later on? It's like you need to. Yeah, if him breaking the seal of getting Clay or Wiggins out the starting lineup is because of Pods, I'd be upset because Kuminga and Moody have been locked in, learning your system for multiple years and are showing you clear as day that they are ready to hoop. So it'd be weird to get the rookie in there before those two, but especially when we're doing this delicate balance with Clay and Wiggins as vets who have been here for a while or need to be respected because they're getting paid or because they have reputations and stuff like that. Like, if this all happens because the white rookie jumps everybody, like jumps the entire shooting guard rotation, like despite whatever Moody is, despite how good Moody is, and then Moody is just going to stay locked in and be one of the best shooting guards off the bench in the entire NBA in that scenario, which isn't fair to him. He needs to be starting because he's the second best player on this team any given night.
Let's say there's a world where you can start all 3. I don't know if I'll talk to you about that, J-Badge, yet, but I think that's, if there is ever another death lineup in the Warriors future, it is. I think it's Steph, Pods, Moody, Kuminga, Draymond. I think that's the lineup that has the potential to do it. I think that low key should probably be the starting lineup like by the halfway point next year too. But we'll see.
This year.
I mean, it should be. I mean, I'm just
I would say yes, it should be. All right, I feel like because we were talking a couple of weeks in, because before I think Pods always was looking good this season, but I think before he started taking off, like we had kind of we went through the plus minuses, me and Mike, a while back, but GP2 just kind of like all of our GP2 lineups were great, but I think just that starting lineup, like to see how good and what the potential of this team is it's a world where it's Steph, Pods, Moody, Kuminga, and Draymond as your starting 5, but if you want to start GP2 and bring Pods off the bench, then you can do that. If you want to go big and you want to start Looney and then take one of your, like, any of those 3 guys of Pods, Moody, Kuminga, and bring those guys off the bench, matchup based, you can. And Gary and Looney are the perfect guys for that too. I think that's the thing. Is like Gary and Looney don't need to start every single night, as much as I know Looney probably wants to at this point, and Gary's body maybe doesn't let him. But yeah, you have the 2 perfect guys to complement what that lineup is, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say with GP I think becomes, which probably makes it more of the death line. It becomes the new Iguodala, where it's like that's GP2 in the starting lineup. I think going forward, if like fingers crossed the Warriors get back there again in this era, but I think that's the like back in the day, it's the Iggy adjustment. The quick playoff adjustment for the Warriors is all right. Shit's going weird. We're gonna put Iguodala in the starting lineup. Like that's the first fix, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be GP2's role going forward. They're gonna try to get away, just because GP2 is not the I always want to say not the most durable. Just he has you want to make sure he's ready to go by the end, so you want to preserve as long as you can. But I think he's the first thing you go to when it starts getting hairy in the playoffs is GP2 in that starting lineup because it's gonna be great, especially if you have that lineup. The lineup we're talking about where Moody, Kuminga, and Draymond are the other people, and you got plenty of space to let him operate around the rim. So
Draymond. But yeah, Steve is to see the defense actually too, because doing a disservice to Kerr. The Popovich parts that you do have, like my dog, we can see it in Moody and Kuminga and how they play the game and just their development of the fundamentals on both ends of the court. Just want to see what this defense is like because that's what I know Steve Kerr to be. Like he'll build a really good defense, and he has the pieces for it. It seems like right now, but we're just not seeing. Like we talked about before, Kuminga. Think about Kuminga and Gary being our best perimeter defenders, like our best on-ball defenders, and that neither of those guys start on the night-to-night basis. Draymond's only one of our, I think, better defenders that we start when you look at this team. When I look at Moody and Kuminga and Gary Payton II, as better defenders more consistent defenders than Clay and Wiggins are.
What happened to my man Andrew? That's so tough.
Ain't nothing wrong. He just perfect timing to come off the bench.
I don't want to say nothing's going on, nigga.
I mean, he's him. That's what I'm saying. I feel like we got him at the perfect time.
I feel like you've been saying. I think we
do.
do need to acknowledge, this is a significantly, this is the worst version of Andrew Wiggins that has existed as a Warrior and maybe ever in the NBA. It isn't I know, you're saying, this is him and his up and downs, but no, this is. This is something.
I think also we're past the most guys have a regular prime. Wiggins' prime was that season. We won that was the best. That was the peak Wiggins. I'm not saying he's on some crazy downfall now, but it's maybe we did get. I guess that's probably my part. Maybe we got the outlier already, the best outlier we were gonna get. We got so now we're just kind of I don't want to be descending because I feel like he's somebody that could just pop up and be really good 3-4 years from now for a team on some random shit. But I feel like maybe just kind of progressively. The role is the role in the NBA as the NBA evolves just needs to go down and down and down as if he's going to keep playing.
Oh yeah, no, I just want to make sure we're acknowledging the fact that even within the construct of roles and he's always an in and out guy. It's really he's been bad. He's never been this bad before, even with all his up and downness. He's averaging 12 points a game on 41% from the field.
Yeah, that makes sense. But that's tough. That's bad.
Yeah, for a guy, he's only 28 too, and it's just I know everybody. He's one of those weird.
A long career, man. He's been here for a minute.
I mean,
20. I was thinking he was a little closer to 30. I don't know why, but
he turns 29 in February, so we're getting there. So interesting. All right, what else do we have? Anything else? Or I guess we have to talk.
Oh yeah, Draymond.
About Draymond, what do y'all think? I don't feel like we need to watch it or anything, but what do y'all think? How many games are we looking at here?
At least one, maybe. I think the recurring thing makes me think that 5 is it's going to be another 5, and if the recurring thing is really, really a thing, then it might be 10. I don't think it's going to be more than 10. Which is still crazy though. You really see this. I feel like you hear on the Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson on the podcast. Heard Melo talk about his fight recently, and just your season is them getting 30, 40 gamers is really crazy. Really start putting his foot down with shit because 10 games is really enough to at least feels like in the Western Conference this year to throw your season away. And Draymond's about to be two ejections, 2 moments, two instances away from missing maybe potentially 10, 15 games. So I can see it though. I can see anywhere, I guess, from I initially started with the one to thinking of as just probably isolated incident and thinking we get a 1 to 2 game suspension. But with Draymond, we're probably looking at least 5, maybe 10. And then if Silver's got any stern in him, then it'll be more than that. But I don't think he does.
Yeah. I think the only thing I was talking to White, but I think the
Mm.
only thing that made me think is like, oh, if he decides this is a Ja situation where it's like, bro, like we've warned you, and you did it again. It seems like that's only time Silver seems to really bring the hammer is when he tries to do like kind of the cool teacher punishment and it doesn't work, and then he tries to bring the hammer kind of after. So I don't know. That's the only time my head went like, is he gonna try to give him 15 games just to try to get this nigga to stop? But
It's
I don't know. We'll
opportunity
see
too.
what
I feel like
happens.
because it's not as it's like I don't know. I just want to talk about it as from a funny point. It's like it just it's like Hurt Nurkic is all right. It's like I heard him talk about it after talking
Yeah.
about it after, but just looks hilarious. Like Dre just looks 110%. It looks like the leg kicks back in OKC
Yeah.
where it just
No.
like it's like everything about it just feels like he's reacting in the moment. He's just his reactions are
Yep.
all over the place. Like
It's
they're
out of
literally all
control.
out of control. They're out of control, and it's just I don't know, man. Like it's a basketball game. Like I know people keep a lot of most basketball players probably feel like they can keep their control. It seemed like the rules in the NBA in the 80s were to not keep your control in order to gain a sense of kind of pride in your team. Like what type of
Mm-hmm.
things that type of player that Draymond is. It seems like there's a lot of plays like this, where
Mm-hmm.
basketball comes from, I guess. But yeah, no, it looks it just had to say that. Yeah, it looks absolutely hilarious. It looks like felt like Curb Your Enthusiasm, I guess. Probably
Mm-hmm.
just like I felt like I could hear like the noise playing on the like, oh, like this is we're about like this is just we're about to get the suspension and everything. Like this is exactly what he didn't want. Like yeah, exactly what probably like not the he like Draymond hearing him talk about it after like maybe he could have been more apologetic or people would have wanted him to be more apologetic, but I think we got
Mm-hmm.
that Draymond of like yeah, I was gonna hurt somebody if I was gonna do something. Like you would know I was trying to do something. Like I'm Draymond Green. Like if I want to hurt
Yeah.
somebody, I'm gonna hurt somebody. If I have intent, I'm not gonna apologize for my intent. So like he was apologizing, like saying like it wasn't on
Mm-hmm.
purpose kind of thing. So yeah, it felt like like I could
Yeah.
hear kind of the sitcom theme song music playing like that wasn't supposed to happen, like kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, and he knew it too. I feel like you rarely see Draymond not be like indignant, like kind of like he never leaves the court calmly when he's ejected from a game. But
Yeah.
he just jogged off today. I feel like kind of admit. I think he probably saw it and was like, oh shit, like whether I meant to do it or not, that shit did look like he saw how it looked and was
Yeah,
like, yeah, I
that's
think
the
it's
real realization for
yeah.
all of this shit. Which is why it's like opportunity for Silver if he just slams him down, takes this opportunity to give him that 10, 15 games. Silver knows like, oh, I'm good. Like I probably don't have to worry. Best case scenario, don't have to worry about him having another problem with. Hopefully, don't have to have a problem about having a problem with him again. But yeah, you
Yeah.
rather be in a situation like this where it wasn't some crazy drama, like crazy dramatic situation. As like I think the choke was and other
Mm-hmm.
past Draymond situations have been. And like I just say, in a game versus anytime we play like Memphis or been watching Draymond for a long time, this goes across
Mm-hmm.
generations of Memphis basketball teams. But like, yeah, like he has an energy in the game because he's on an extra level
Mm-hmm.
in a really big game, and you can see. Like I say the idea of him losing control because he's just going to keep playing harder, playing harder, playing harder. As
Mm-hmm.
the game gets more and more intense, you can tell he has less control over how hard he's playing. He's just playing. He's just maxing out. And like this just complete ironic that this was not one of those times like at all. Like this
Mm-hmm.
was something just completely kind of different and ironic, but also very representative of Draymond still at the same time. So Dre,
That's Draymond for you.
Jordan,
Uh,
how many games, Jordan?
Hope just 5. That even seems like too much. I mean, for us, seems like
mm-hmm.
too much. But yeah, hopefully just 5.
Yeah. I really didn't think about it as that until I heard the inside guys talk about it after. It's like, oh, people think this is like they seem like they were just like aghast, like blown away that he would do like something like that happens. It's like, oh, they're gonna. But like I saw, it, I was like, yeah, maybe another couple games, like, and that would have been it. But yeah, then you hear everybody reacting. It's like feels like at least 5.
It just looked goofy. It just like he landed perfectly on his face. Like it was just like, dog.
Ah, man, he's never gonna live the jokes down. Got my man Jordan Poole trending for the first time this season. um, yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah. Who do you guys want to? What do you guys want the starting lineup to be? I feel like we talked about how we want Moody and Kaminga in the starting lineup, but even with that, Draymond. I mean, I think nobody went Draymond out the starting lineup. So, What do they do starting lineup wise now that he's
Mm.
gone at least for a few games?
Steph,
Mm-hmm.
Steph, Moody, um,
Kaminga.
Kaminga,
I feel like that's the three.
uh,
What's the next two? Is the question.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
oh,
they're gonna go with Clay, but you don't have to go with Clay.
yeah. Is he just gonna go with Clay and Chris, or is he
He
gonna,
can't go
or
that. He can't go that
he can't?
small. I think
He'll
unless
start
Yeah,
Loon, I
yeah, he'll
think.
probably start Looney or Sarge. It's the
Yeah,
Clippers.
or
I think
Looney or Dario.
Looney matches up probably better with. Maybe not though. Maybe it's better to space Zubac out. It'd probably be one of them two, just because of Zubac. But I feel like as soon as the Clippers go small, the Warriors might end up just bringing Chris in for a big and just say fuck it, why not? But they have to lose at this point.
Yeah.
What you
I
thinking?
like that Steph in the wings, though. I mean, I guess just falling into that is kind of interesting. Though
Yeah,
Steph, Clay
I mean
Wiggins, Moody,
that's
and
hard.
Kaminga, all four of them start.
yeah,
I don't know what he's actually gonna do,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, yeah, Steph. But so he might just start. He might start Pies. I'm not gonna lie. I
yeah.
don't know.
Steph, I
Dude's
can see him going
random.
Steph, Pods, Clay, Wiggins, and Looney. Could see him
Don't
that
do
being his
this.
only real adjustment is that he gets to just put Pods in for Draymond and he gets to keep Clay and Wiggins out there and give them another chance. But technically, he
I
put
feel
in a
like he
good
can't give both
performer.
of them a chance. He
Yeah,
gotta
no,
at least take out, or it's
yeah.
probably gonna be Wiggins. I
I
feel
think
like
Wigs
it's
is
Oh
out.
yeah, that's
easier
if
for
JK
him to
gets
bench Wiggins.
if something if Pods
And
if he puts both of them in, then we should. Yeah, one of them should get benched. I guess somebody's got to get benched. If
yeah,
I
JK
think
takes Draymond's
Wigs
spot and Pods gets to start still, then maybe Wiggins. Wiggins.
Seems like Wigs is the obvious choice of somebody
Yeah,
that's gonna
yeah,
be out. But then I don't know. Everything that seems obvious with it seems somehow doesn't happen. So who knows? But yeah, no, I'm with y'all. Sounds like what it's gonna be. I feel like I'm nervous about. That's probably the coach. That's why sometimes I understand where Kurt's coming from. Cause like the coach in me is like, I don't know if I want to go no big man just for rebounding purposes. But also, if Potts is your best, Potts is a good rebounder. Moody's a good rebounder. Kaminga's a good rebounder. Um, yeah, I like the small lineup. That would be pretty interesting. I hope we at least see it at some point throughout the
yeah,
game, just because Ty Lue wants to go no bigs at some point anyway. So you might as well match it and try to force his hand on it early. Honestly, I feel like it's better for them to get Zubac out the game because I feel like he kind of kills the Warriors. He's one of the few guys like him and
yeah,
like that few guys. Like he's one of those guys. I feel like most nights. Oh yeah, he's gonna make the Warriors feel that they're kind of on the smaller side. So I feel like
yeah.
he's one of those guys. But yeah, you get him off the court by going small. I'm down. Um, any thoughts? Y'all think think they pulling the game out against the Clippers on Thursday?
oh, I'm not gonna lie. The Clippers, didn't they just cook somebody today?
Yeah, they ran the Kings off the
Oh
court
yeah,
today.
Oh,
yeah.
they
They
ran.
ran the Kings. Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
why I never put my money on the Kings, on any Kings player, because I never know what's gonna happen.
Mm.
Yeah, they kind
Yeah,
of beat the brakes off of them. I feel like it
never
ended at
doing
20,
that
but I
again.
saw it being higher earlier. Yeah, it was a
Mm.
rough one. So yeah, Clippers won 5 in a row. I feel like I want to get to that in a little bit. Do you
Yeah.
think the Warriors put it into the streak?
Nah, we're about to get popped, I think.
I don't even think we're
Yeah.
capable of getting blown out because we got one of the greatest benches of all time right now.
Yeah.
Like I think we're literally incapable of losing by 20. Like we're gonna be in the game. I would bet on a loss if I was had to pick which way or the other. But yeah, man. I don't think anybody can really blow us out like that right now. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, man, we scrapped. We play too hard. We foul too much. We grab offensive rebounds. We be scrapping. Like it just, man. But yeah, no, I don't
Yeah.
think it's. I'm not thinking. Well, I don't know. I hope it's your J. I put it on. Yeah, JK and Kaminga. If we not put an expectation on him to have a great game, but I think if we have a JK starts, he has a great game, then I think it's a W. But other than that, for me, Kirk might be shuffling around with Clay and Wiggins all game, trying to figure his shit out. We'll just barely stay in the game.
To your point, the last time the Warriors lost by more than 10 points, or just had a game that was decided by more than 10 points, was when the Thunder beat them in November
Yep.
November 16th. So damn near a month ago is last time the Warriors played a game that was more than a 10 point. difference.
18 games of less than 5 points in the last 5 minutes. I think they're nine. They're now 9-10. They're
Gosh.
9-10. So of their games, all of their how many games we played? 25,
I
26?
think we're close to 25. Let me check real quick.
Are we even there yet? Oh damn.
I think this is 25. This one? Nah, 23.
Yo, yeah. Okay. Well, of the 23 games, 19 of those games have come down to clutch or within, I think, 5 or 10 points in the last 5 minutes. And we Warriors are now 9-10 in those games. So yeah, we're literally playing like right even, and most of our games are crazy close. So interesting team that has probably some good foundations like Steph Curry and solid defenders all around it, are up and down the roster. But some
No.
holdups.
Yeah, best way to put it. We've got best way to say this. So, or anything else to wrap before I want to finish by just kind of predicting what they got 4 games before we'll probably pod again. But before I ask how they do in those, what do you guys? Any other thoughts? Any general Warriors thoughts before we wrap on
I feel like
them?
it was funny, the TNT guys. I feel like there was another stat. I got that one from them. They were talking about the 9-9. They were Warriors were 9-9 and had that many close games. I feel like they might have just brought up the 20-point score thing where it took however long for Dario was the first one to score 20 points besides somebody to score 20 besides Steph. So yeah, I think the other stat was just the one I started with, 80-30 bench difference in the losses. Wild. 80 points off the benches. Wow. But yeah, all right, that's all. Yeah, those were my points I got from TNT.
Anything else, J Batch?
I just want to tell Kerr to be careful with pods. Don't throw them into the fire. Um, don't throw them into the fire too early. We still got
Got
Moody there. Still got Kaminga. Just like leave him where he like. I don't
yeah.
know.
Let
He
them.
just
Perfect setup on.
keep him in this role. Like because I don't want. Yeah, I don't
And
know. Adjustments and things are going to start happening early, and
We all
uh,
see it. We don't want to. We all can imagine. Everybody thinks this is going a certain way, and all of a sudden, it's just pods in there for like Wiggins, and all of a sudden, nothing else has changed about the starting lineup. We could all see it
yeah,
happening quickly. So yeah, I think we're all. I think the other side of that is like we're all pretty in on pods. I think he's having a hell of a rookie year, but it's also just it's hard. It's like you don't want to see somebody jump the line in a way, especially when the guys
not
that
even good for him. Like that
yeah,
wouldn't
no,
be good for
exactly.
him either. Like
yeah,
that's everything what Jordan was saying was
Yeah,
dope because I was
exactly.
thinking of the Chris Paul. Like me and Mike have had a couple talks about Chris Paul and whether he's going to be a trade piece and stuff like that. But I like Chris Paul just being next, like Pod's playing next to Chris is just like the role he has set up for him is really good. And I think Kerr hasn't really found too much problem with, like with Moody and Kuminga. We're seeing them not be in the rotation in the last couple of weeks, like when there's no way that should happen. But Pod's he been there. Like I guess that's kind of idea. Like Pod's is in there, and if he is the only thing he should really be doing is probably eating away at some of those Chris minutes, whereas instead of it's them together, it's a little bit. You just want to inch towards where Pods can be on the floor without Chris, I guess. But until then, you have the perfect setup, I guess. For a rookie. He's a rookie. Yeah.
He's a rookie. Yeah, no, I'm with y'all on that. Definitely want to make sure they play this right. All right, last thing then before we move on from the Warriors. So they got schedule's back to being kind of packed again now that we're out of the tournament. So 4 games, before 4 games. Last one's on Tuesday, where I'm assuming we'll pod again next week. We have Clippers, or in LA, Nets at home, Blazers in Portland, and then Celtics at home. So 2 home, 2 road. Clippers and the Celtics Clippers and the Blazers on the road. Nets and Celtics at home. What are we thinking?
2-2, baby.
I'm not even going to try to pick which ones they win either. I just know
Yep,
it's
I don't
2-2,
know.
and yeah, whatever you get on a night-to-night basis, man. I'm not really scared of anybody these days. I'm scared of my own team.
They're gonna do it. I feel like they did it last year at one point when they just ran the Celtics off the court, and it was like, oh wait, maybe they're gonna be good this year actually, and then they weren't. But I feel like that's coming in that
Doesn't mean
Celtics
anything.
game.
Yeah, that'll come in the Celtics game, and then we're gonna lose to the Nets on some stupid shit.
Yeah. We'll get
And then we lost to the Blazers, right? That was one of our losses, wasn't it?
Nah, they pulled
Did
it
we?
out. They
No, we.
almost lost
Oh
it.
yeah,
it was
nah, yeah. That
Kaminga
was,
saved them in that game. That was the one where,
yeah.
yeah. That was the thing where Kaminga saves them in that game, but then they apparently was supposed to fucking be benched for the Thunder game like 2 days later. It was like, or 3 days later. I was so pissed. But yeah. So yeah, but again, the Blazers game was way closer than it needed to be. And this time you have to go to Portland. And Portland just in general, like they're not winning more, but they seem to be playing more competitive games recently. So, you gotta step up and do
everything.
it.
Yeah, 2-2.
That'll be a
2-2.
back to back. That'll be a back to
Oh,
back
what is it?
too. The
Portland.
Blazers game is the second end of a back to back.
Who's the first? Brooklyn?
Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn then Portland. Plus you gotta. I mean, it's a quick flight up to Portland, so that part's not tough. But still, back to back, gotta fly. I'm sure it's not gonna be fun. But again, you got a whole
Ooh,
bunch
that's
of young. Go ahead.
gonna hurt if we lose these first two games coming up right here.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the first two.
Yep. Because
Yeah.
you got the Celtics and Blazers 2 games in 3 days. 3 and 4, finishing off at 3 and 4. It can get ugly quick, man. It gets late early in the West, some people say, and might be too late.
We good. Trucking
Too
along.
soon.
Average. Just below average.
It's wild to look at. We'll get to the standings in a minute, but it is like they're the gap, right? The last playing team is 5 games back of the first seed. The team after the Warriors is 10.5 games back, and the Warriors just standing perfectly in the middle, kind of the separation between the top 10 teams in the West and the bottom 4 teams in the West. It's right there in between. But again, that doesn't get you in the play-in, so we'll see.
Come on, Steve. Got this.
All right, I think that's all we got on Warriors, unless anybody else got any other quick thoughts or calls to action before we move on. We good? All right. Anybody have anything you want to mention from the games today? I didn't get to watch anything else today, but it seems like some interesting stuff happened. Any quick thoughts?
I didn't watch anything else actually.
Yeah.
I just kept up with scores, but
Yeah, I was gonna say I think probably it's good to talk Clippers at some point and Mavs.
yeah.
But before we get that, do y'all see Jokic? Jokic
Oh
got
yeah.
ejected. Jokic
Yeah,
got
Jokic
ejected.
got ejected. That's what happened.
And apparently,
Yeah.
Chicago is this like place in the world that has the most Serbians besides Serbia. Like the most Serbians in the world outside of Serbia, like live in Chicago, and like
Huh.
it was Serbian night. Like it was literally Serbian night. Like it was all pretty much. It was like, yeah, this is celebration of Nikola Jokic. You know y'all love this nigga, and they kicked this nigga out. Refs kicked him out before halftime. Shit's wild.
I know it was Serbia night.
The crowd booed. It was crazy in Chicago. The crowd booed when he got kicked out.
Oh damn! No, I saw the ejection. I didn't realize. I saw them talking about on TNT. But yeah, I didn't know there was the Serbia. It was Serbia night. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, some wild stuff. That was they still managed to win. It's kind of wild. This team. That's probably the second time they've won without Jokic or Murray. It's the second time Jokic just got ejected twice this year, and they won both games. So good for them. Reggie Jackson just kind of getting his stuff, getting his shit back. 25-6.
DeAndre Jordan out there hooping. What did he do?
Let's
I just
see.
saw a couple highlights.
Let's see. DeAndre, 24 minutes, 9 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. I see him.
2 assists. Okay, they showed both the
2
assists
blocks.
on the highlight reel. I thought he maybe had like a little 9.95 or something like that, but that makes more sense. But it was selling it. Vince and Jamal Crawford, they was like, look at DeAndre passing. Look at that pass. Oh, him and Reggie though. Yeah, that's the second time him and Reggie handle business.
Does anybody know? Because I pulled it up to see DeAndre's numbers. Does anybody know who Julian Strother is? Julian
Denver?
Strother. He had 16 points today for Denver. They just had. I feel like they had Peyton Watson. That was one I was like, yeah, that's a player I've never heard of. Who I think's a rookie. He's been solid. But then yeah, Julian Strother.
That's a new one
I
to
don't know
me.
who that guy is.
I thought there was another guy besides Peyton, but that wasn't the name I was thinking of.
Jalen Pickett. He didn't play.
Yeah. Jalen. Yeah.
So yeah, they keep finding him. I guess they only played 9 guys a day, and again, none of them. What happened? Dang. Yeah, Reggie Jackson was the guy. It's wild. But I think. Yeah, Reggie Jackson. I was gonna say probably the main thing, or not main thing, but Clippers and Mavs. I guess just Clippers won today, beat the Kings. Clippers beat a good team in the West to move to 5 games in a row, won 5 in a row. The Mavericks beat the Lakers, and I think that's 4 in a row for them now. So just I feel like that's a good place to jump in. Any just general West thoughts maybe before we jump into standings? Any thoughts on those two teams? For the Clippers, Clippers. I guess Clippers probably because we talked long and hard about the Clippers when it first happened. I think we all were kind of on Russ's side, and it seems like it's going against Russ now. Seems like the way it's going is Russ doesn't play with Harden anymore, which means Russ doesn't play much anymore, and Russ might be traded soon. So, any thoughts there? I don't know.
I figured this, all three of them, I guess, and throw the Lakers in there too. I guess or did you say three? I mean, just those two,
Yeah,
Clippers and the Mavericks, and throw the Lakers in there because the Lakers had a winning streak, three-game winning streak, plus the fourth game of the championship going into tonight. Mavericks on a win streak and Clippers on a win streak. But just, I guess, what I hoping the Warriors just have one of those nice little 4 or 5 game stretches soon. But I would have picked all those teams when earlier in the season it felt like Minnesota, OKC were out ahead. I think Lakers and Dallas, Lakers and Clippers, I guess, were closer to 500 and just needed a little boost like this to give them a little cushion, a little cushion in the West, and break out of that that space that they were in. And it's interesting though. I think Dallas
beat the Timberwolves too. I think they won yesterday. I think they're on a back-to-back.
And
apparently Luka had a kid and is doing that thing where after a player has a kid, all of a sudden he becomes the best player in the world. Fred VanVleet in the finals run that one time. But Luka's been kind of working lately.
It's like 30 and 15 or 35 and like 17 tonight.
Yeah, no, it's kind of
Dante Exum. I saw part of that game.
Dante
Exum,
man. I bet under on everything for him.
You should have, because that was the game plan. You see, I was a little tripping because I was like, I got a little tired. I was dozing off watching the game. Like, what the hell is happening in this game over here? Exum name 25 points. What do you have?
7 threes. He has 26 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. But again, plus a steal on the block. But most importantly, 7 and 9 from 3, 8 from 10 from the field.
I was gonna say that's how you know though is so I was like, man, is Dante Exum having a good season and I'm just not noticing. They was selling it too. They was like, it's exactly what the Mavericks need from Dante and everything, and he's going overseas and coming back and see it like putting the work in and get back and stuff like that. I seen him hit that dagger and he was wide open. I mean, he was wide open. I was like, this man made 6 threes and nobody even thought to close out on him for number 7. He only missed 2. Too. It's like not like he made 6 threes and shot 12. Like, no, he was 6 for 8 from 3 with less than 2 minutes left in the game, wide open in the corner, and nobody even thought of like making it like a remote contest. And I was like, oh, he's missed a lot of threes this year. But yes, that was a little confirmation for me to like Dante. I don't know what Dante is. I'm not trying to hate, but that was a little bit for me. Like, you see a guy make 6 threes in a row, and then he's wide open on the 7th, and I like. A little bit hating on the Lakers, not trying to call the Lakers lazy or bad defense, but like that was the game plan. The game plan was to let this guy shoot. You tell by the way they're rotating is make him make shots, and good for Dante, man. Hopefully you could keep it rolling. That's what the Mavericks need. Makes them. He does make him a real threat with that shit though. I feel like that's the bare minimum. Like I can't trust Dante to do. Like I'm not expecting Dante because they kept talking about this whole point guard thing, and I don't want to see Dante Exum handle. I wouldn't want to see Dante Exum handling the ball on my team in the playoffs. You feel me? In really any situation, but that just catch and shoot. That's Dallas has another wing that can catch and shoot and play defense. Like that's in addition to Hardy, in addition to Hardaway and everything they've got there. Was it Derrick Jones? DJ J? He get hurt? Or
Derek Lively?
Or they had Derrick Jones Jr. too, didn't they?
I don't think so. They got the Derek Lively the second is the rookie they got that's playing center for him now.
Am I tripping? Was he not on the team this year? Was that last year?
I don't think. I remember him being in Miami recently. I don't remember.
Was he Miami? Oh, maybe I just got confused.
Yeah, no, maybe. I was gonna say real quick because I hadn't seen the box score for this game. I thought it went overtime when I saw it because Luka plays 43 minutes and Grant Williams plays 40 minutes and LeBron played 40 minutes and it was just a regular game. Just a regular season game. I'm so confused. Why is LeBron James playing 40 minutes in a basketball game that they didn't even win?
That LeBron 40, the craziest thing. I don't said anything past Jason Kidd, to be honest. But yeah, that's Vogel. What are you doing?
Not Vogel. Not Vogel anymore. Vogel handed the Warriors an L today.
Oh yeah, I remember tripping. I was all behind all over the place. Yeah, I saw Vogel today because we were playing the Suns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about to say LeBron had 33, 9 and 8. By the way, actually, but also
Mm,
they lost
King.
his minutes by more than they lost by. So he wasn't. This is probably the first time he wasn't the reason. They usually just lose when he's out not on the court, but they lost when he was on the court this time. Good for, but still, yeah, it's wild. Just he's so like he had the best line of the night. Maybe him and Luke about the
Yep,
same.
and AD had a really good game too.
No, AD was hooping
37 and
too.
11.
Oh God,
Yep,
yeah, how they lose this
37
game?
and 11. Two blocks. I don't know how they lost.
I guess
It's one of them ones
Dallas
though. I
really
feel
like
like
that.
the West. That's the West Coast thing. Yeah, just like a team like Dallas. I feel like it's like okay, see Dallas in them games, man. You really see it's like yeah, everybody's good. Can you win the game in the last 2 minutes? Like who's gonna win this
Mm-hmm.
game in the last 2 minutes? Like
Yeah,
it's gonna
no.
be
Yeah, I'm looking at him now. Yeah, but Dallas to say like 7 threes for
Oh,
Exum.
Hardaway.
Yeah, 5 threes
Hardaway
for
at
Hardaway
32.
and 5 threes for Williams. That's the thing. They had 17 threes just between 3 players. That's
four
wild.
guys. I think was it Lucas scored 30, but did they have 4 guys with 20 or more?
One, two, three. Williams had 19,
Grant
but
had 19.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah,
19.
but yeah, pretty much. But nobody else scored more than 10. It's kind of crazy.
That's I feel like 2K, man. Or
Yeah,
feel like the my league we be playing in
yeah.
2K. Or just like yeah, you got 3, 4 dudes. Everybody went off. Like everybody went off
Mm-hmm.
on both teams.
Ah man, yeah, one of those. Uh, any other thoughts? Feel like that was it. A little slightly. I'm getting slightly worried for the Kings as the season goes on. Not to troll Steez, but
Where they
slightly.
at?
Let's see. Yeah,
What's their
I was gonna move to standings. Yeah, let's see where
yeah.
we're at. Um, not too bad. 13-9. Game up or tied with the Lakers for the 5-6 spot. But again, everybody's kind of right in the mix there. So, can y'all see them? Did I go low? Yeah, you guys there. There you go. You got
Yeah,
it.
it's just really gonna be crazy. So like De'Aaron been handling business best probably he can, especially given him his games. But oof, yeah, it's no love lost. I think it's just gonna be close down all the way to the end, and nobody's. I don't think anybody's really gonna separate.
Yeah, see if Minnesota's got it in. I mean, Minnesota's 17-5. So,
Yeah, I just don't
it's
know. I'm like think back to the Warriors had have a year of 18-2, but I feel there's other years where
yeah.
I feel like that. Even like the Nuggets, I feel like was the team. If the Nuggets were 17-5, I'd be a little more confident in
Yeah,
them
no, I
separating,
feel it.
as opposed to Minnesota, where it feels a little bit more like like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as much as I'm not hating on Minnesota, I feel like they're gonna finish top 3 in the West. Like kind of
Yeah.
I'll kind of guarantee that part now. But yeah, I don't know how likely they can run away and create separation. Like I don't think anybody can. I don't think anybody will really. I think it's gonna be 1 to 2 big groups in this conference.
It feels like that's where we're going. It feels like we have our top heavy. I don't know where it cuts off. I guess it cuts off at Denver. This probably makes sense. I feel like this is probably our top 4 for the rest of the year. It's always hard to bank on the Thunder just because it's young, but also they just keep winning. So
I'm saying I throw Sack in there. I was like, I guess I wouldn't say all. I think Sack because just the missed games. Like I feel like that they're there with De'Aaron. Like they had no chance of winning without De'Aaron. I guess. And just,
yeah, but I guess all 4 of the teams ahead of them have missed guys for time
yeah,
too. I think
yeah,
that's what separates. Is like Denver's had no Murray. Dallas is going to be without Kyrie for a while now. It seems like he's heading in the boot, no timetable. I didn't mention that for them. Minnesota and just got back from Minnesota recently. Actually, that's the part that's crazy for them is that they still kept winning with Ant out the mix for a minute, and then Thunder Shea missed time. I feel like the Warriors had a game, at least 1 or 2 games against the Thunder without Shea. So yeah, it's
No,
yeah.
definitely not worried for the Kings in a way, but like in the sense of, I guess I'm not expecting that. I guess if the Kings any kind of nick to injury, De'Aaron is just kind of sending them down and out. But I guess they need him more than that. Yeah, I guess I know that they need him more than I think these other teams have multiple stars or multiple better depths. I think maybe even better depths. Probably kind of better depth, but definitely the multiple stars seem to kind of hold it down in a different way. Whereas the Kings, I feel like are walking a tightrope. But I think my confidence in them to balance on the tightrope, is there for De'Aaron. It's there for De'Aaron if he's healthy, I guess.
It's almost like they could use like another ball handler to make sure that can be held down the times that De'Aaron wasn't out there. You know, it's all good. That's how it goes.
They might have a move to make too, though. I mean, I feel like
they need to.
do need to make a move damn near.
Yeah, they need to bolster. I
He's the
feel
right
like Keegan hasn't been exactly, which I feel like people had a little too high expectations on Keegan because like it's not like it's year 3. It takes a while to get there. He's been fine, but I feel like they were expecting more. It's like, nah, if you really want to be that team this year, you're gonna have to get another wing or a big or just somebody that can play defense in a way that makes me not be as worried about Sabonis. But we'll see if they can find it or figure it out.
timeline thing. I feel like that's probably the part of the. It's like the yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the Tyrese. Yeah, not to harp on the Tyrese trade, but I guess just the figuring it out after. I guess is this the timeline. I guess it's like Sabonis, Deer, and you throw Keegan in there. It's kind of just being at kind of
Mm-hmm.
say 3 different points in their career, but lining up Fox and Sabonis, if you're going to do that, kind of just go all in. I guess the idea is like, if you have an asset like Keegan, who's closer to Tyrese's age, then
Mm-hmm.
like as much as you like Tyrese or like Keegan, like get another guy like when you went and got Sabonis, get another guy who's like right in the prime of his career, like Sabonis and Fox are. So interested to see if they make that move. I don't think it should be Zach LaVine though. So got to be somebody else.
Zach. I don't know if does anybody want Zach. Seems like everybody doesn't. No, we'll see. Lakers might want Zach. Seems like they're trying to move D'Lo soon too. I was gonna say we didn't talk about that. Bradley Beal. Anybody? Any thoughts on seeing Bradley Beal play some basketball? It's been a while. He played today in the game you guys watched. If you did.
I saw some of. I feel like
No, I didn't.
knew how it was gonna go. Well, I said, Jordan, how did Bill look to you, Jordan?
He looked pretty healthy. I mean, he looked fine. Uh,
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that's about it. I think it
he,
was solid. Like, it didn't look
yeah,
noticeably bad in any particular way. I think he was on a
that's what I
minutes.
was. Yeah,
He's on a minutes limit, but still looks solid out there. Just thoughts. I guess just seeing the standings and seeing the Suns in there. My mind went to him because I think that's the next group, right? We're kind of separating the groups out. Sacramento's group seems to kind of be Sacramento, Lakers, Clippers, Suns. Maybe you want to put the Rockets and Pelicans in there, but they've seemed less consistent and less kind of hampered by injuries, I guess, than those other teams. But I don't know. Is there a favorite out of there? Or is it just Sacramento for y'all? I'm starting. I think I'm starting to not necessarily believe in this Phoenix team. I guess I was low on them kind of coming in. I'm starting to be like, I kind of think they're actually gonna be pretty good if they
nah,
get
they
all 3 of
might
these dudes
be.
on the court.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking with Brad. Like all 3 of
Mm-hmm.
them actually. It's gonna be. I mean, I was already thinking it was gonna be scary, but like actually seeing how
Mm-hmm.
KD, how they all have held it down, got a chart, how
Exactly.
KD and Book have both got a chance to hold it down by themselves, and then seeing a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of Brad today with Booker,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just picturing KD out there. I'm like, oh, they got a good team. Like honestly, it was
Yeah.
just even outside
Mm-hmm.
of those 3, just the Nurkic pickup was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And just yeah, I
they
mean
got
Eric.
who was the dude today that was giving us buckets for a sec? What was his name?
Oh, the dude with the afro. It was like that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
has a weird looking shot. Who was that actually? That's a good question.
Yeah, I was like, who is this?
It
Another.
was yeah, it was that one because that's like somebody's taking Yuta. I feel like Yuta has been hitting, but Yuta hasn't been hitting recently. Oh,
What was his
Metu,
name?
that's the Kings dude.
Oh,
That's the
Smezzy
dude who played for
Metsu?
the Kings.
Yeah,
Was it
Metsu.
Metsu?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, it
pretty
was.
sure.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
no, 3 for 5
was.
from three. I don't remember him hitting threes like this in Sacramento, but I guess he had it a little bit.
Metsu.
Yeah, no, I think that Eric Gordon's been like really solid for them. They kind of just keep getting guys to fill in. Just quick things. I feel bad harping on this, but everybody seems to want to say that Bol and Victor Wembanyama are similar. But Bol played 4 minutes today and was a minus 16. I remember somebody mentioned he looked
Yeesh.
really bad out there, but I didn't see the numbers actually.
I heard
Uh,
his name too. I was like, whoa, out there. Oh, he does play for the Suns, doesn't he? Yeah.
yeah,
Man.
it's all good. Gotta have the talent to go with the size or the skill at least. Um, but yeah, no, I'm sorry. I guess the whole point being the Suns. I'm starting to believe in a way, and again, probably doesn't mean much because I'm someone who didn't think they were going to be where a lot of people had them coming into the season, and they're showing me that they're there, or they have a chance to be there once it all comes together. So, anybody believing in this Clippers thing for real? Seems like Kawhi's been hooping over this last little
Yeah,
stretch. If there's anything to be hoped for, I think it's real. They're gonna keep this up. They're gonna get themselves in the mix here.
They gonna
I
feel
think
like they go.
they'll. Yeah, I think they'll find a way in the mix. I mean, I look at the. Or wait, hold on, let me pull this up. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I can see Lakers, Suns, and Clippers. I mean, we talk about the Suns, but I think all of them kind of
Mm-hmm.
making that one group a big group, turning that into one big group, or maybe having two teams up top have a little bit of separation, but then have that where we're at right now, where it looks. I see have Dallas from Dallas or Denver until the Phoenix Suns. Everybody kind of in that same group because the Clippers and Lakers and Suns find consistency, and we get distance themselves from 500 a little bit. But I think they all, I think that's where we're headed with all three of them. And I feel like the Clippers less so. Then I'm less confident in the Clippers than the Suns and the Lakers. That's where I'm at now. It's like I have a little more confidence in the Suns and Lakers to be closer to the top of the conference and capable of finishing near that 2-3 spot, or at least close to the standings to it, and a little less confident in the Clippers. But Clippers is as much as not like a crazy far behind in terms of their possibility to finish. Right in the same group as them. So I think they're all in the same position. Just how good is New Orleans? And I don't feel like Houston could end up being, I guess, ideally the Warriors get their shit together somehow, some way. But I think Houston ends up being kind of this 41-41 team. Like I think they're just right around there. Maybe they throw some shit away at the end and end up a little under. But I think that's the actual 500 team. And I think New Orleans. The Golden State should separate from that or be able to be at least a couple games over 500 with this roster. We talked enough about them, but the Pelicans, I feel like the Pelicans are probably the start of being better than the Rockets and I don't know.
I was gonna say I feel like I'm with y'all on the Lakers. I feel like Lakers and Suns, like Jordan was saying, the Clippers in the mix. I think it was getting hairy for a minute. Like, are these dudes going to just be bad now after the trade? But I think we're back. It's like, they're going to be solid. They're going to be in the mix the whole year. Lakers and Suns, I feel like just Lakers are the team I'll probably have the most playoff of that group of three. The ones I have the most playoff confidence in. Phoenix kind of, but more of the Lakers I have more playoff confidence in with them. I would say, yes, I agree with you. The Warriors should be able to get to the 9 seed. Yes, they should be able to at least get there. We'll see if it works. But I was going to say, is the Rockets only home loss to the Warriors? The Warriors beat the Rockets at home early in the season, right? That was like the fourth or fifth game of the year. That's the only that's the only game the Rockets lost at home. Which is, to your point, it's the 500 thing because they've one game on the road, one game on the road, and lost one game at home. So it's a good way to get to. It's
also kind of scary though, for such a young. I don't know if they're that young. I guess that's the other thing. That's part like they're young, but also like is the veteran? I feel like veteran addition and new coaching kind of is what's combination of all the things. And Sengun is hooping, or as a hooper, and he's hooping for sure. But pairing him with, I think the vets and N.B.H doing a good job. But that's a little scary. At least I thought they were a little more true 500. That's a little too actually spaced out. Like if they even figure it out a little bit on the road, like they're good money. They're pushing 50. Like
never know. You said you was looking up something, or you had something?
No, I was looking at the standing. I was about to say the Clippers. They'll find their way in the mix because I feel like they could still beat at least two or three of the teams in front of them on any given night. I feel like I just feel like they're figuring it out, and
it's gonna keep. It
just sucks for Westbrook, but.
Hey. Let's see. Somebody was saying Miami might be a good landing spot for Russ. I feel like that makes sense.
He proved it by now. I feel like Russ gonna get another spot. At least that's like not to worry about this time around. He gonna be somewhere and get his chance to get revenge again.
Always happens.
What's Memphis?
6-16. Considering where they started. I mean, I keep forgetting. Oh wait, hold on. How close are we?
Like 4 games.
4
games.
It's been so much time. I totally forgot this is a thing.
Jaren had like 35 the other night, didn't he? He had a big game. He was struggling.
Another team for us to worry about.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's where I feel like the groups though, because I feel like I was saying Clippers, Suns, and Lakers are all gonna kind of ascend to the next group or make that one big group of the top. But that Memphis is the other team, I guess. So where you have Memphis, the Warriors, Pelicans, Rockets, I guess, all around 500. If Memphis gets on a run, the Warriors get on a mini run, the Rockets level out or kind of stay right where they're at. And I think New Orleans is with health at least a couple of games, over 500 teams. So like that's the other group, I guess. And that'll be like the playing group. Warriors, the playing group. Steph Curry.
Yeah, back there again. That's gonna be third year in a row. Third year in the plan. No,
I
wait.
believe in y'all more than that, but hard to believe in you more than that right now. Yeah, Memphis. I want to see if Memphis breaks in there, breaks in there, and then also see what moves are gonna start being made. I
Yeah,
guess.
we're getting close. I think actually, yeah, Friday's the day where all contracts signed over the break, over the last summer, can be traded. So we're getting real close to trade season. So yeah, that would be interesting to see how that affects all of these teams. Yeah, I think kind of those kind of a lot of teams in the West, you can see them all making just leaving a little bit of a push to get there. That's what I was gonna say. New Orleans, I feel like Zion heard people shaming them. Zion dropped 36 the other day.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah, everybody was talking about him.
that's actually like some real simple kind of. I don't know if he got too much hate on the internet for it. It was not a. He
He
had
was
a
really
pretty bad
bad. He
game.
was really
Yeah,
bad.
really. Yeah, it was. He looked like he was invisible, kind of out there. Forgot he was out there in that game. But kind of the idea though, I guess the play like he hasn't gotten really any playoff moments. You put in this in-season tournament, he gets to play in front of the big lights. It really doesn't mean anything. It's just a regular season game. But there's intensity. There's more eyes watching, and the next night he scores 35 points. Like I don't know, yeah, kind of like that's the perfect scenario where like, oh yeah, he got a kind of a pre-playoff rep, kind of like it's not the playoffs, but the closest he's been, to that kind of thing. And took the lump like many people have. We've seen people struggle in their first playoff series, struggle in the playoffs first time around, and then let them teach them, let that inspire them. So interested to see if this is part of Zion's long origin story. I feel like we're in the long 5-chapter beginning. Real anime character, man. I feel like we're still in the first part of the story. It's just a really long build up for.
We're still watching Deku train with All Might.
Zion, man.
Yeah. Go ahead, my bad.
No, that New Orleans team is scary though. I feel like
Yeah,
I really like that team. I think outside of Zion, but just what they built is scary. And I think this Western Conference is about to be crazy.
Stays intense,
Already is.
man. Stays intense. Let's say. Probably do the math on that later. Do we need to spend time talking about the East, or we do East check-in next week? Or any thoughts on what's going on over there? I feel like I haven't really checked in at all. I feel like the Pacers are the only Eastern Conference team I've watched over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, same Pacers. It looks like we're about to get to see them in the. I want to ready to see them in the playoffs.
Yeah,
But
for real. Yeah, seems
Indeed,
like Orlando and N.B.H somehow dropped to the 4 seed. That's not good.
yeah.
Um.
Cleveland beat Boston today.
Oh.
No, they ended up losing it.
Yep,
Damn.
there you go. See, okay, man, this conference is boring. No, it's not. It's fine. Basketball's fun no matter who's playing.
I'll say that Zach LaVine, Mikal Bridges, and then from the West, it's Lowry Markkanen. But I would like to see all three of those if it's possible. I don't know what the hell the Nets are doing because I always thought that this team was good. Even last year, I thought that this team was good, probably better than they were. But I thought this team was good. But if there's at all moves to be made, or Bridges like top of the list guy that I want to really curious to see where he ends up and how he could impact what these playoffs this year are. Like one of those guys, like, oh yeah, he could impact how the playoffs go. He's like the perfect level of talent. And then, but Lowry is also Lowry. I think next up will be Lowry Markkanen. Just see where he goes. He could end up. I think he's the crossword. Some Eastern Conference team needs to go get Lowry Markkanen, and to make their playoff run a little bit, feel more confident about their playoff run. And where does Zach end up? You feel me? I'm still not crazy opposed to a Zach Wiggins swap. I don't know why anybody would want Wiggins, but Zach is
the Canadians. I think only the Canadians. I think that's the best hope is that the Canadians want him.
Somebody in the East go get Lowry.
For real.
Lowry, for real.
Somebody should make the move. Anything else? I'm trying to think before we wrap. I think we hit most of everything we wanted to get to. Any in-season tournament thoughts? That's probably the only thing we didn't talk about. We haven't talked about it since the actual tournament part started. So, any thoughts?
It was fun. Like it
Yeah,
was cool.
it's
Excited
fun.
to see where
Oh,
they
that
could go with
yeah.
it. So, yeah.
Actually, it was actually fun. Actually fun to watch. You
Yeah,
know, I mean, yeah, I knew the Lakers were gonna pull it out, but it was
Yeah.
good. It was good to. It was cool to see the just the
yeah.
underdog get there. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that was good for the league. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
No, Indiana's whole run, beating Boston and Milwaukee to get there, and
yeah,
just this was
Perfect
face.
setup.
I feel like it's gonna be good too. I feel like we're gonna get to the playoffs, and somebody either somebody who's covering the team or somebody on the team or a coach is gonna be like, Tyrese having to deal with the Lakers doubling him the whole game, like doubling him all game, and that like playoff type environment really made him ready for this moment when he kind of hits the ground running in his first playoff series
yeah,
type thing. I feel like just little
yeah,
stuff like that. We kind of talk about the Zion, like Zion maybe having to be on the, maybe he needs to feel some shame on the big stage to know that he needs to get his issue. We'll see if he gets his shit together. But I think for Tyrese, like just somebody who hasn't played a playoff game yet, hasn't played a. Tyrese might have a playing game. I'm not sure. He probably does have a playing game, but hasn't played a playoff game yet, getting a chance to play in this type of environment before like playing in the playoffs this year. I think it's valuable, man. I think it's gonna be fun to see how it goes from there too. So
I'd say it's weird. I feel like I had the thought when the Lakers lost today because it was just it was a good game. I feel like this is their first game since the champion since the tournament, right?
yep,
Like
yep, yep.
yeah, it's first game after, yeah. But I feel like I had the thought or listened to it on another pod. I think it was on the Players Choice pod, but someone is saying the idea that this should count towards playoffs or home court seating, like you get home court if you win this.
Yeah,
I just feel I was opposed to anybody who kind of and when people propose this idea that it has the effect on playoff seating because I just don't really see how that works. But after seeing it, I'm a little bit more into the idea. My brain less so went to home court as much as I think this game. We're seeing how close the West is. I think that game should count. Like I think
yeah,
the game should count to their standings. You can keep an 82 game season and just have it. They get a half point bump in the standings at the end of the season because they won the tournament. They played that game, and I think
and it
even
wouldn't
for both
negatively affect the losing team, right?
losing exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And that's what I was going to say the double, where I think you
or
get
just give them a game. Yeah, give them two
yeah
games to the winner and one game to the loser, maybe kind of type thing.
yeah. I would say a half game for
Yeah,
winning your side. Yeah, half
that's
game.
what I meant. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, the half game for getting to the tournament championship, you get a half game. So no matter whether you win or lose, you're not going to lose out on anything. But if you win, you get a full game in stand. You get a full game in the standings, pretty much. So even if you did lose that next game, flying back from Vegas, and you just had a big, or just it felt weird with both the Lakers and the Pacers. What they just
Yeah.
the amount of commitment they had to those games, the way they seemed locked into the tournament, they made the tournament fun. They gave us classic performances and games. It seems like we could give them that little. That seems like an appropriate reward. Like, yeah, we're gonna give you this half game because you just had a hell of a week, kind of putting on a show, and playing in intense games that nobody else played in. So, yeah, I think they should be open. That doesn't guarantee home court, but I think the idea that you get a half game and that could really play well in the standings. That makes the end of the year, I think, fun. Like, so yeah, we got that win that 83rd. We got that 83rd game, so that the last night of the season we rested everybody while other teams were chasing us in the playoffs, and otherwise we would have had to play everybody to secure the 6th seed or some shit like that, or secure the 3 seed. So
I think I was
that's my
even
thing. Great.
mentioning.
Let's see where it goes after where the tournament goes from here and what else they do. But
I think I
go
was
ahead.
saying the cool thing with the half game is for tiebreakers, right? Because it's just a good way to split where you don't have to worry about like who won the season. Like me and this team are tied. Who won the season series? Like, oh no, me and this team are tied, but I got that extra half game, so I ain't got to
Yeah,
worry about it. Like it helps in a lot of little cases
yeah.
like that. It'd be interesting. It'd be a cool little flip. So yeah, overall, agree with y'all, man. There's a lot of good stuff. It's funny that LeBron won the first one. I'm sure it'd be interesting it'd be interesting if if we're 20 years from now when we're older, if we're sitting there like, and we actually kind of remember like, oh, LeBron James is kind of actually something like he was the first person to win this. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
This is, I guess, like now that we're a year in, it's gonna be interesting to see what year 2 looks like. But I think start thinking now, it's like, oh, if this keeps going, what does it look like 5, 10, 15 years down the line when we have some history behind it? Actually,
Yeah, the NBA Cup. Like, yeah.
it's gonna be
I
interesting.
feel like, and that was probably the last. I feel like I heard me and Mike probably definitely had a couple of combos just about where does this go from here, the other ideas, and it's cool to see. We got fan reception has been really good, which it was so kind of fans and players were like very opposed the last 5-6 years to kind of any idea like this, but it's been cool to see kind of just all the positive reception too. But if fans are, this is making the regular season more interesting. If this is something that the fans are liking. Like, you don't want to do too much, but I have heard, I already heard like, where does the NBA go from here? What else do they do? And yeah, it was crazy. The
Mm-hmm.
players, the former players, I feel like a lot of them were the ones like
Mm-hmm.
hear them brought and the
Yeah.
broadcast like, man, how do we go back to like, like there was so much energy, like, like they were like really like, oh, man, like how
Yeah.
did like, like that's yeah, probably the best case scenario. But yeah, me and Mike having the convo of like, what does another tournament look like in the league? And I think this the simplest idea isn't about doing too much or adding anything at all. It's just about what this tournament did a really
Mm-hmm.
good job of is breaking up the regular season. So it's not about adding or doing too much. It's just about taking another section of the regular season and
Mm-hmm.
putting names, titles, labels, and cool colors on the court
Yep.
during that portion of the season, and giving people groups and standings and shit to look at. But yeah, me and Mike, the simplest idea was just cross conference, like keeping a cross conference record all season, and then having the two best teams with teams two teams that have the best cross conference record play each other in a cross conference championship, and that can be the NBA cross conference cup. You don't have to have a tournament or anything at all, but you have a standings going all year with all 30 teams in it of like what their record is that you flash on the screen, so you're keeping track until you get to whatever section of the season that is, and you're like, oh, we have another NBA Cup for you, another NBA tournament for you, and it's just regular season stuff. We just added another game because these teams played really well in the cross conference thing. So interesting. Yeah, that was I think me and Mike's kind of idea we discussed, but I wonder, where they go with this and what are the simple ways to keep making the regular season fun. This just seems like it's a big step, and yeah, probably main thing to do was like, unlike David Stern, take it slow, take it slow. You feel me? You don't got to do everything all at once. You feel me? Just let this expand on its own, and then see where to go from there. Once you have some time with it and time with the fans fall in love with it. So good stuff though.
Yeah. So just also just knockout basketball to me that's the easiest one, right? Just as soon as we get your 32 teams, put them in a bracket, 5 games, single elimination, loser's
Oh yeah,
bracket.
32 teams too. That's the other thing. Yeah, me and Mike had a good convo about that just the possibility of that shit, the single elimination, the NCAA tournament style. Like every team in the league. You feel me? Like you can do that when you have 32 teams perfectly set up. So that's the one too. That's the one.
All coming to time. NBA is changing. I think I'm glad to see people have been open to it again. Kind of feel like I was beating my head against the wall, just kind of pulling my hair out. Like, why are y'all all so against this idea of a thing that's not really gonna affect anything? Like worst case scenario, it doesn't affect anything. But it's been cool, like you said, it's cool to see people be into it and open to the idea. So
I
I'm
think
excited to
long
see.
run, this saves the 82 game season in the long run too. I think that
Yeah.
the way we're headed, and you look at games played for players, like I think this is the beginning of what we need so that we somehow do have an 82 game season 10,
Mm-hmm.
15, 20, 30 years from now, because we start to break up the regular season. And I think the main thing, using these tournaments to give these
Mm-hmm.
players more breaks, and keeping them entertained and locked, keeping fans and players entertained and locked in fun ways. So see how they can do it. But I think this saves ultimately the 82 game season, because I think tournaments, this in season tournament and in season tournaments, and being able to play around with the regular season is what's going to get fans used to not looking how it's always looked, but making it better for the players, for their bodies. So, yeah, possibilities here. That's good shit.
100%. All right. Anything else before we wrap up, you guys? Nope. We're good to go. Okay. So with that, you all have been listening to The Garage, the official NBA pod of the N.B.H network. I would like to thank my co-host for joining me tonight and ask you both to please let the people know where they can find you on the internet.
You can find me underscore JBadge on Instagram, JBadge47 on TikTok, and JBadge Music on YouTube.
Hey,
You can find me on Instagram at Daniel Doom underscore. You can find me on TikTok at Daniel Doom underscore, and you can find me on YouTube, Doom and Wonder with the and sign, Doom and Wonder, one word.
hey. Uh, I go by Mike. Spell that with the one M1KE. Best place to find me is on YouTube. That's at Trash Mike. Again, at Trash Mike. Mike with the one M1KE. Um, yeah, trying to be better at being a streamer. Been kind of consistent the last couple weekends, so make sure you check in with me, and all that stuff ends up on the YouTube channel. So check me out over there. Again, that's youtube.com/ at Trash Mike. Again, that's Mike with the one M1KE. And with that, I'd like to thank our listeners for tuning in to The Garage, an NBA live show and a podcast you can now find on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find the show at N.B.H Network on TikTok and on YouTube. We'll be back. We'll be back next week. But until then, remember, it all started with basketball. Peace. Hey. Good shit.